What's going on? So as you all know, Zhiyun have just released their new Crane 2. I managed to get my hands on one and put it to the test. Here's how I got on. Enjoy.
And all the people say
Right people, so before we talk about the new features of the Crane 2, can we just take a second to admire the beauty of this thing? Like, Zhiyun have definitely not cut any corners when it comes to the aesthetics of this gimbal. It is just a thing of beauty, a proper naughty bit of kit. And in typical Zhiyun style, the new case definitely ticks their new style boxes and also the ergonomics of it. It just works. So let's get straight down to business. Let's talk about the new features of the Crane 2. First off, we've got this new real-time integrated follow focus. This is situated just on the side of the handle. So after connecting your gimbal to your compatible camera, this allows you to have complete creative control over your focus. So you don't have to just stick your camera in autofocus and allow your camera to decide where you want to focus. You can actually regain the creative control and you can decide what point of your frame you want to have in focus. I found the new follow focus really easy to use and the damping on the ends actually tapered off nicely. This is really nice for tracking shots as you move closer to your subjects. You can pull the focus and allow them to stay completely sharp. It's also nice just to be a bit more creative and pull focus from one part of the frame to the other while you're still getting that beautiful gimbal movement. What's also nice about this feature is you can actually change the sensitivity of the follow focus. So you can personalize it and dial it in to exactly how you like to pull focus. So next up, we've got the OLED display. This display allows you to monitor your gimbal and your camera settings. The display allows you to see the gimbal mode you're in, the amount of battery you've got left, your Bluetooth status, and you can also change your camera settings without having to touch the camera while it's being stabilized by the gimbal. So this means you can change your aperture, your shutter speed, and your ISO all on the pistol grip handle. You can also change various gimbal settings, which saves you from going into the app and doing it on your phone. Everything you could possibly need is here on the grip itself. It's just so much easier to navigate around the gimbal, know what modes you're in, how much battery you've got left. Everything you need to know is right there. It's a really simple feature, but for me, I think it's probably the best. Right, so another massive feature of the Crane 2 is the fact that it has a 3.2 kilogram load weight. This allows us to open up a range of new camera and lens configurations. We now don't just have to chuck a mirrorless camera on there. We can also chuck larger cinema cameras on there, up to 3.2 kilos. So this new load weight would actually allow you to stick like a Sony FS5 on there, some of the Canon C series cameras, or any kind of rigging or microphone configurations you want to throw on there as well. They won't be a problem. Another massive plus for the Crane 2 is the fact that it has an 18-hour battery life. So I went away for 10 days to use this thing and I charged up the batteries before I went and I did not charge up the batteries once while I was there. The battery lasted all 10 days and I used the gimbal every single day. I got back and it still had 1 bar of battery. I couldn't believe it. So that is a massive thumbs up from me. It just means that you can take it on shoots and you do not need to worry about the battery. You are going to be shooting all day and it's not going to be a problem. So when using camera products, mainly electronic ones like gimbals, I really have to see if they can handle a beating. And I tell you what, I took this thing to India and I put it through every kind of environment. Sometimes the weather just don't play ball. This thing handled mud, rain, and it generally just got thrown about all over the place. And I tell you what, this thing really stood up to the test. I was really surprised at how rugged it really was. Because life sometimes just gets a bit hectic on set. You don't always have the time to be packing this thing down. Sometimes you just have to put it to the side. And if this thing's just going to break, it's not ideal. But this thing is really, really tough. Another massive feature on the new crane is the fact that it has a Manfrotto standard quick release plate. This makes balancing so much easier. You can move the camera forward and back with complete ease. You can also just take it off and mount it straight onto a Manfrotto product. So let's talk about what's in the box. Now the crane comes with an aluminium tripod that screws into the bottom of the gimbal and allows you just to plonk the gimbal down anywhere you want. Because sometimes gimbals do get a bit heavy, so it's just nice to stick them down every once in a while, give your arm a rest. It comes with 3 lithium batteries and also a 3-way charging hub for those batteries. It's going to have all of the different cable configurations for all the different cameras you can possibly mount onto the gimbal, and of course the gimbal itself. So let's just get a bit more general about the new Crane 2. So after using it for 10 days, I really noticed a big difference compared to the previous Crane, and I loved the previous Crane. Like, it was a wicked bit of kit. But I just felt that this new Crane, it was just a hell of a lot more solid. I think it's just the fact that it's a little bit beefier, a little bit heavier, and the motors just have that little bit more torque in them that just makes it that bit stronger. Tracking my subjects just seemed so much easier. I could keep them in the center of frame at all times, even when I was passing really, really fast. I just feel like I've got complete control over where I'm pointing this thing. The OLED display just made things so much easier. I knew exactly what settings I was on. I knew exactly what power strength the gimbal was on. And the menu system is really simple and easy to navigate. Like, it just works. So people, I hope you enjoyed this little overview of the Crane 2 just as much as I enjoyed filming it. This thing really is a beast. Thanks to Zhiyun for sorting me out with the Crane 2. You lot have absolutely hit the nail on the head with this thing. It is naughty. I'll leave all the links in the description if you want to go and check out the Crane. Big shout out to the lads over at Grip Up for sorting us out with the 5D Mark IV. Go and check them out. And also people, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Life just gets better when you subscribe to my channel. It just does. So that's it from me people. Peace.